Being Senior Citizens Week, the school's decided that we should honour our senior citizens by devoting ourselves to their service.
What do you mean, Miss Selby?
Well, job's what I mean. Anything they want done.
So what do we get out of it?
Not a lot, Kelvin. But those who volunteer get 3 days off. Those who don't get algebra.
Well, you can count on us, Miss Selby.
Had a feeling I might. Now, I've got a list here. Who's going to take Miss Hurley? She'll be a good, strong boy. Seeing you're so keen, Kelvin. There'll be rubbish to be carted away, lawns mowed, hedges clipped.
That's a serious amount of work, miss. Well, I have to take Billy and Guido to help me.
Take Ralph. You won't be able to con him the way you would Billy and Guido.
I wouldn't con him, mate. Billy, Guido, would I con you?
Yes.
Can I do that, Miss Hurley?
My boy, it takes years of practice to know how to pot a plant so that it not only survives but blooms.
Now, Amy and Geraldine, I've got you down for Mr. Spratford.
Didn't they operate on his heart?
They gave him a pacemaker, yes.
Then he'll need a lot of careful nursing. We'll take good care of him.
Just make yourselves useful. You don't have to treat him as an invalid.
Are you all right, Mr. Spratford?
Right as a trivet, sound as a bell.
We've just had a big operation.
Oh, that was ages ago.
Only 2 months ago. I think you better sit down, don't you? Right, now back inside and don't you worry about a thing.
Babe and Lou, you can take Mrs. Crawford. I think she'd just like a hand with the spring cleaning.
Thank you, girls. I've been meaning to wash those curtains and the slip covers for ages. I'll let you get on with it then while I go and do the shopping.
Not a problem.
Now, Mrs. Archer. I'll need someone very patient and tactful for her. Good girl, Julie.
Mrs. Archer? Mrs. Archer, are you home? Mrs. Archer?
What about us, Miss Selby?
Afraid we're fresh out of senior citizens.
Well, what about Gramps?
Your grandfather hardly qualifies, Kelvin. Well, he's hale and hearty, and he's not that old.
Your lazy grandson should be doing that, Charlie. You're far too old for this sort of heavy work.
I could beat you over a round or two for a pound or two any day, Andarkus.
I assume that strange colloquialism is meant to say that you're a fitter man than I am, Charlie.
Too right I am.
He's a lot older than he looks, Miss Selby. Sometimes he's so sick he can't even get out of bed in the morning. It's just sheer guts that keeps him going, miss.
Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Well, it sounds like Billy and Guido have a senior citizen to take care of after all.
Who's old and weak and worn out?
That's what...
I'm as good as ever I was, and I'll knock down the man who says I'm not.
Does that mean you don't want us?
Come to think of it, my back has been giving me a bit of jip lately. Yeah, I could use some help.
I don't need coddling. Watch this. Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I cried the whole night long. I'll do
Come
that.
along now, sit down. We'll have none of that, Mr. Spratford.
Girls, I'm all right.
You just sit here quietly and we're going to clean your kitchen. And make you a nice cup of tea.
You leave my kitchen alone.
Don't worry, Mr. Spratford.
Kelvin! What in the name of sheer stupidity do you think you're doing?
Waiting, Miss Hurley.
You're pulling up flowers. Nincompoop. Ralph, dare I ask if you know the difference between marigolds and weeds? Then you do the weeding, and Elder Structure here can do the mowing.
She's in. I know she's in. anything you want done, Mrs. Archer? Can I take your bins out for you? Is this all she eats? Baked beans? I still think the blankets should be washed.
She didn't say we had to.
I've been working up this recipe for a new washing powder. It breaks down the UV rays so the colours don't fade.
Oh, not another one of your experiments, Doc.
Oh dear. We had a little accident. But it was chipped a bit already. So are the cups. Never mind, you can always glue the handles back on, can't you?
Girls, will you please go home?
But we haven't washed the path yet.
Does she still smell of fish, boys?
No!
Good. You've done a great job there, then.
That's a lot, isn't it, Mr. Cochran?
Not quite. Now you can do a great job on the ute.
Right, now for the outside. Path first, and then we'll do the windows.
Will you get the blue blazes out of my house? You're driving me crazy.
No, you don't really mean that. You're only saying it because you're not well. Watch your step.
John Manson's coming into the back straight. He's about to make his move. He's taking the lead. Miss Hurley. Are you okay?
Oh, look at my plant. Look at what you've done. You've utterly destroyed it.
Well, does this mean you want me to stop mowing now, or...?
Well, there's another job you won't have to worry about. Now, you take good care of yourself, Mr. Spratford. You can't take too many risks at your age. Watch where you're walking. The path's still wet. Okay. Whoops. It'll dry soon.
Won't you come home? I cried the whole night long. I'll do the coke and honey. I'll pay the rent. Ah!
I think we did a good job there, don't you?
Babe! Lou! You put them in the hot wash, didn't you? They shrunk, didn't they? How anyone with even half a brain... Go home, girls, before I forget myself.
Not bad, not bad. Hubcaps could use a bit more elbow grease, though. Look, dust. I want it clean inside as well as outside, boys.
Go and get it. Right. Oh, this fish stinks. He'll find it, though.
Who'd think of looking in here?
Does she still smell the fish, boys?
Can I take this one to Mrs. Archer?
She won't take it. I've offered before.
But she's living off baked beans and spaghetti. I saw the tins in her bin.
For heaven's sakes, Julie, don't go offering her food. The Amelia Archers of this world dispense charity. They don't take it. You know, she was a Delancey.
Who were they?
They settled this area originally. Her home on Cersei Island used to be their beach house.
Well, I still think she's in some sort of trouble.
Amelia Archer hasn't done her shopping here in months. Reckons the prices are cheaper on the mainland. So, it's a free country. But I haven't seen her going over on the bus that often. Why, what's up?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I could do her shopping for her.
Plenty to do around here if you're looking to help someone.
I would, Mr. Puckram, but I've been assigned to Mrs. Archer.
Hi. Those two girls of yours,
Lou and Babe?
are they quite normal?
About those two girls of yours.
Amy and Geraldine? Is there a problem?
I know they mean well, but...
Mr. Spratford! Mr. Spratford!
Excuse me.
Wait, Mrs.
No way,
Spratford.
girls.
Help
No
with
way.
the door.
Julie? I haven't seen Julia. I must have been out when the child called. What a pity she's such a helpful girl.
Surely one of the boys could have done that. I'm sorry to see you in a wheelchair.
Fell off the ladder when I was potting a plant, didn't I?
Now, the boys should have done that for you. I'll have a word with them, send them right back.
I'd sooner you send me bubonic plague.
I can't say Senior Citizens Week's been a roaring success, can I? What have you got to say for yourselves?
It really was an accident, Miss Selby.
Mr. Spratford keeps avoiding us.
We gave it a go. Miss Hurley chucked us out. Mrs. Crawford was sending out some pretty bad vibes in the end.
If she doesn't want your spring cleaning, then you'll just have to think up some other way to be useful.
Mr. Puckram's been using us as slave labour. Yeah, and you'll keep.
Hey, it's work experience, guys.
You should be grateful.
They're your jobs. You should be doing them.
Yes, it's one big con. So
very
do
silly.
algebra
Kelvin's
instead.
Quiet! Now you'll all go back to your assignments and you will try harder. You're young, you're healthy, and you've got brains. You ought to be able to think up some way to be useful. Class dismissed.
Oh, hello, Julie.
Mrs. Archer, may I have a word with you?
Of course, dear.
Can we go inside?
It's so nice out here in the garden, don't you think?
Just for a minute. It's really important.
If you fall, I'm not picking up your hospital bills.
I won't fall, Miss Hurley.
Where's your scaly mate? Miss Selby lumbered me with the two of you again, didn't she?
He'll be here. Miss Selby said he has to push you wherever you want to go.
It's the least he could do.
You ready, Miss Hurley?
About time. I need to get to the shop to mail these letters before the post leaves.
Let's go. Get ready for the ride of your life, Miss Hurley. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast!
May I offer you a cup of tea? Oh dear, I'm right out.
Soft drink will do.
Let me think. Did have some somewhere.
Please don't bother. I just dropped in to see if there's anything I could do for you.
I could make you some sandwiches, but I'm just this minute out of bread.
Would you like me to do some shopping for you?
That won't be necessary, Julie.
You don't have any food in the house, do you?
Of course I have.
Well, since it's nearly lunchtime, why don't I cook us both something?
No!
Is this all you've been living on? We can't help him if he's not at home. We'll just have to wait here until he gets back.
It's been a relief to tell somebody. But you must never, never tell anyone else. You must promise me that, Julie.
But how can anyone help you if you don't tell anybody?
I don't want anyone to know. That's why I don't let visitors into the house. I can't even offer them a civil cup of tea.
Nobody would care, Mrs. Archer.
I would.
Surely you get the pension.
What pension?
The old age pension.
Good heavens, I wouldn't dream of taking that. Only poor people take the pension.
Miss Selby, you've got Senior Citizens Geek all stitched up.
We're going to do Meals on Wheels. It's just another form of science, really. The mixing of basic ingredients, application of heat, chemical reaction, and you have it.
Yeah, and it'll save them cooking their own.
Whoa there, can either of you two cook?
My mum taught me. She was crash hot. We'll just follow one of her recipes. Trust me, the olds are in for a treat.
Very well. Oh, but ask Amy and Geraldine to help you out. I don't seem to be getting very far with Mrs. Bradford.
Oh, did you put in garlic? Heaps. Who's got the capsicums?
I have.
Cool. Start chopping. No more than 4. We need the pimentos and paprika.
Right here.
Okay, start grinding.
Capsicums, paprika, and pimentos.
That's how they do it in Jamaica. Me mama done told me.
What's going on here? What are you lot up to?
We're doing Meals on Wheels for the senior citizens. Miss Selby said we could.
Oh. Then Miss Selby would be very pleased to know that you're doing it under proper supervision. Not bad, but it needs a little something. Bring me those spices and chilies.
Don't you think it'll be a little bit too spicy for the olds?
When your eyesight and your hearing goes, so do your taste buds. If the senior citizens are going to taste this at all, it needs a little power!
We'll need at least 3 original documents to prove your identity and all your financial details, please. Do you understand me, Mrs. Archer?
I'll explain it to her.
I'd like to hear it from her. Mrs. Archer, you do want the pension, don't you?
No, I do not. I may be poor, but I still have my pride and my hearing.
You need the pension, Mrs. Archer.
I know.
Then why not take it?
I'll tell you why not. Because the cheque would come through the post. And the only post office on Cersei Island is at Charlie Puckrin's shop. How long do you think it would be before the whole island knows I'm on the pension?
It doesn't have to go through the post. It can go straight into your bank. You do have a bank account.
Yes, but it's hardly worth keeping it open.
It will be.
Safe and secure. Right. Let the wagons roll. Ah, that's it. Come on, you'll have to do better than that. Faster, faster. Come in. Amy.
It's not home.
It's no one home. Just leave it on the doorstep.
No, not that door, the other one. Come on, they're getting cold. What about Mrs. Fletcher?
That's it.
Get a move
Come on, girl, keep your eye on the road. Keep
Going
your eye on
as
the road.
fast as I can. Faster. It's okay, but you're on 5.
What are you doing? Hurry up.
Can't we go slower?
Come on, girls.
Mr. Bob doesn't like curry. Give him the small one. Mr. Pritchard lives alone. Give him one. Yeah, and Miss Loney. So that means only 3 people will know. You, me, and Mrs. Archer, right?
We do respect our client's privacy, of course. If you'd like my help in filling out your pension documents, Mrs. Archer.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I'd appreciate that.
We'd like one more favour. Do you think... could you possibly advance Mrs. Archer her first fortnightly pension cheque?
Over $300. I don't know about that.
You do know who Mrs. Archer is, don't you? She was a Delancey. Her grandfather started this bank. Don't you think you could grant his granddaughter the courtesy of a small advance?
Ah, well, I guess the government are good for it.
You after some antacid powder too, eh?
So you all tried Meals on Wheels?
Join the Heartburn Club.
Are those kids trying to kill us?
Quick, Charlie. Give me something. I'm in agony.
Serves you right. You were the one who was distributing the stuff. It's a wonder we're not all in hospital.
I was only doing my civic duty by helping out. I even did a taste test before you was subjected to the stuff. Well, what more could you ask of a person who was simply caring about your welfare? Well, how was I to know what effect it would have?
Yeah.
Well, it did taste nice. Brought back fond memories of my time in India.
Thank you. I mean, how nice for you.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I've had as many good deeds done for me as I can stand.
Here.
How about getting out of here till Senior Citizens Week is over?
Bye, Mr. Bradford. You're running away, Miss Selby. The Senior Citizens Week isn't even over yet.
Yeah, talk about ingratitude.
I can hardly blame them. Hasn't been a great success, has it?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all.
It's a good price. Oh, but the idea is for children to help you, not for you to be spending your money on a party for them.
They deserve it, and I can afford it.
So what did you do that was so great?
Nothing. All I did was help her with her shopping.
Why don't we do that and let Mrs. Crawford do her own washing?
You just want it, don't you?
A toast. Charge your glasses with ginger ale, ladies and gentlemen. To Julie, the best helper a senior citizen ever had.
To Julie.